Hi, I'm Robin, and welcome to class number 2 of the Rebalance Pilates Postpartum Series. So if you watched the first video, we went through a lot of information on pelvic floor activation, the structure of our core 4, and how we are using our breath to link all of that activation together. We're going to review that today because it's a really important part of our recovery. Being postpartum is an excellent time to focus on retraining your core. We spent the last 9 months having everything stretched out and having that load on the pelvic floor, and this is a great opportunity to take the time necessary to re-strengthen properly. When we take that time and we do that work, which might not be the most exciting work, but very important work, when we take the time to do it, it sets us up for much greater success in doing the activities that we love to do, like running, high-intensity interval classes, Pilates, or even just picking up your kid. We want to make sure that we have a strong pelvic muscular foundation so that way we don't exacerbate issues like incontinence, prolapse, or diastasis. If you have not yet seen a pelvic floor physiotherapist or physical therapist, I highly recommend that you do. I really do think that they are the magic ingredient when it comes to postpartum recovery. They're the ones who are going to give you the best understanding of what is happening at your pelvic floor and if you are managing that intra-abdominal pressure properly. All right, so a very quick review of the pelvic floor and the pelvic floor breath, and then we're going to get into our workout. So, the pelvic floor lives at the base of the pelvis. So if we think of our pantyhose, when we pull up those pantyhose where that diamond at the crotch comes to rest on the body, that's where our pelvic floor lives. It connects to 4 bony areas of our pelvis: the pubic bone at the front, the tailbone at the back, and then the 2 sits bones on either side of the bum. And it does create kind of a diamond shape. The pelvic floor is also dome-shaped, so when it contracts, it domes up. And when it relaxes, it lowers and spreads wide. We're going to keep that in mind for our breath work because on our inhale, we're going to allow that tissue to spread wide and release. And on the exhale, we're going to find that dome and we're going to pull that dome in and up. Couple of images that we can use for the pelvic floor breath. Like one of a clock face, I love. So if we think of our pubic bone as 12 o'clock, our tailbone in the back is 6 o'clock, and our 2 sits bones as 3 and 9 o'clock. When we take our breath in, we can do this together now, when we take our breath in, we're gonna imagine those 4 numbers widening away from each other. And then as we exhale to create our dome, we're going to pull those numbers in toward the center of the clock or the center of the vagina. And you almost want to think of pulling them in and then lifting those numbers up. Inhale, let the numbers spread wide. And exhale, pull the numbers into the center and let them come up. Let's do it again. Inhale, spread wide. Exhale, pull in and up. Inhale, spread wide, and exhale, we're going to pull those numbers in towards the center and think of pulling them up the vagina. Another image I'm going to give you for the next couple of breaths is that of an elevator. So as we take our breath in, we're going to inhale and let the elevator lower to the basement. And then as we exhale, we're going to pull the elevator up to the 3rd floor. Inhale, let the elevator come down to the basement. And exhale, pull it up to the 3rd floor. That lift. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, allow it to release. And exhale, we're going to pull up. All right, I'm going to continue to give you those images throughout the class. We will explore our pelvic floor breath in various positions, and we are going to build on the movements that we did in the last class in this class. Join me on the mat. All right, let's go ahead and lie down on the mat. And we're going to start by finding our neutral pelvis or our tension-free position. So placing my hands into the triangle, I'm going to put them on my pelvis, my fingers towards my pubic bone and my thumbs underneath the belly button. And I'm just gonna gently rock between my thumbs and my fingers. I'm trying to keep my rib cage really nice and quiet as I do this. So I'm really just focusing on my pelvis doing that movement. Rocking back and forth gently. Again, you can see that I'm keeping my spine pretty relaxed too. And I'm gonna come to a nice happy medium between the two extremes. Let the pelvis come to rest nice and easily. I'm gonna do a couple of the pelvic floor breaths because I'm in a new position. So I'm gonna think of my clock face. I'm gonna inhale and allow the clock face to widen. And on my exhale, I'm gonna pull up through the pelvic floor, pull those 4 numbers in towards the center of the clock. Inhale, letting it spread. And exhale, pulling those 4 numbers in. Now, what I want you to watch here is that I'm not changing my back. So I'm inhaling, but as I exhale, I'm not jamming my back into the floor and lifting my bum off of the mat, okay? I'm trying to maintain my neutral, tension-free position throughout this work. Let's do that one more time, inhaling and exhaling, pulling in and out. We're gonna go to our double knee drops that we looked at in the first class. We're gonna inhale and allow the pelvic floor to spread. You can think of 3 and 9 o'clock spreading away from each other. And as we exhale, we're gonna pull in toward the center, thinking of 3 and 9 o'clock drawing themselves back into the center of the clock. Inhale, let it open. Exhale, pulling it together. Inhale, open. And exhale. So again, this might not seem like the most exciting work. Keep doing the exercise. I'm just going to speak a little bit as we inhale and exhale, but it's very important. And it's a good opportunity for us to check in with our rib cage. Are we getting really grippy in our back as we do this? We want to try to stay quiet up there. And this is also an easy exercise to do with your baby. You can have your baby on your pelvis while you do this. Or the baby next to you, if they're doing their tummy time, you can easily do this with them and continue to engage with them. So it's an excellent opportunity, an excellent exercise to still engage with your kid. And in. All right, so from here, we're gonna look at the exercise we also did in the first class where we're gonna do engage our obliques. So we're gonna take a breath in. And on the exhale, I'm gonna bring one leg to tabletop, taking my opposite hand and placing it above the knee. Taking a breath in, and on the exhale, I'm gonna pull up through my pelvic floor, press my hand into my knee into my hand, and then release. And again, exhale, press, press, press. Inhale, release. Exhale, press, press, press. Inhale, release. Exhale, press, press, press. Inhale, release, and we're gonna come down. We'll do that on the other side, taking a breath in. Exhale, bringing the other leg up, placing the hand above the knee, taking a breath in. Exhale, press, 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 inhale, release. Exhale, press, 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 inhale, release. Again, try not to tuck my back. Exhale, press, 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 inhale, release, and exhale, bringing the leg down. We're gonna go into our toe taps and arm series from here. We're gonna start with the arms. So let's just let the arms come up toward the sky. We're gonna let the arms fall back on the inhale. And on my exhale, I'm gonna bring the arms back up. Inhale back and exhale up. Now you can make this more challenging by adding some light weights to it. You'll feel those upper abs engage a bit more as you do that. One more time here. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to bring the arms down. Moving into a toe tap. We're going to inhale the right leg up. And I'm going to flex my foot. Taking my breath in to prepare. On my exhale, I'm going to keep my 90-degree position. I'm going to toe tap or heel tap my foot to the floor and then lift it back up. So I'm giving my glute a little bit of a squeeze here. I'm exhaling to support my pelvis, and I'm inhaling as I bring the leg back up. Exhale, that pelvic floor is gonna lift. Inhale up, we're gonna do this one more time Exhale as I tap down. Inhale as I come up. We're going to add arms to that now. So as I take my breath in to prepare, I'm going to exhale and send my leg to tap down and my arms behind me. Inhale it up. Exhale. Inhale it up. Exhale. And up. 3 more. And up. And 2. And up. And 1. And up. And we're going to exhale and bring the arm and the legs down. We're going to do this on the other side. So taking your breath in, exhale, bring the leg to tabletop, flex the foot. The hands stay down for the first 4. Exhaling as I tap my heel, inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale, release. Last one, pull those numbers towards the center of the clock. Inhale, release, float the arms up. Take a breath in. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, pull up through that pelvic floor. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. And again. And up. 2 more. Up. 1 more. And up. We're going to exhale and bring the arms and the legs down. Let's build on that a little more with leg reaches. And we're going to add the arms in right away. Now you can omit the arms if you feel that you're getting too grippy in your back. So let's go back to the first leg, taking a breath in. On the exhale, I'm going to lift my leg up to tabletop and I'm going to float my arms. This time, I'm going to flex my foot. As I exhale, I'm going to reach my leg out on about a 45-degree angle. Reach my arms back too. Inhaling, pulling it back in. Now, if you feel that you are lifting up into the spine and the back, bring the arms down for this and just work on the leg. All right, this is all about being able to stabilize through your core and that pelvic floor. So if you're overcompensating into your back, then you're not finding that stabilization, and it is something to work towards. We're going to do 4 more here. Inhaling the leg in, exhaling as you go back, inhaling it in, exhaling, pulling up through that pelvic floor. 1 more time here, exhaling, in, and then exhale to lower down. We do this on the other side, so taking a breath in, on the exhale, lift up, flex the foot, and I'm going to float my arms, taking a breath in to prepare. Exhale as I reach the leg and the arm out, inhale, pull it in. Exhale, inhale it back. Exhale, inhale it back. And again, you can always bring the arms down if it's too much, if you feel that you're getting really grippy in your back or your neck. 2 more. Exhale, inhale. Last one, exhale, inhale. Exhale, lower the arms and the legs down. We're going to go into our hip lifts that we looked at in the first class. I love hip lifts. They are a great glute strengthener. So the feet are going to be bum cheek distance apart. I have my neutral pelvis. I'm going to take my breath in. On my exhale, I'm going to pull up through that pelvic floor, squeeze the bum, and lift my hips off of the floor. Trying to be as equal as possible between my right and my left side. So I'm trying not to drop one hip down. Then I'm going to hinge in my hip. I want to think of my tailbone leading the way down, widening my bum, and down I come. Take a breath in. Exhale, pulling up through the tummy muscles, squeezing the glutes, and coming up. And then hinging at the hips, trying to bring my whole torso down in one piece. 2 more like this. Breath in, exhale, pressing up. Inhale, coming back down. Last one, we're gonna stay up at the top here, exhaling up, holding that. I'm gonna anchor into my left glute, press into my left heel, take a big breath in, and on my exhale, I'm gonna lift my right leg up. Inhale it down, press into that right heel, right glute, exhale the left leg up. Inhale it down. Now, if this is too much, stay with the hip lifts. But if you wanna challenge yourself, you can add this little march. Exhale, pull through that pelvic floor. Inhale. Exhale, pulling up through the pelvic floor. Inhaling down. Exhale. Inhale down. 2 more here. Exhaling. Inhale down. 1 more time. Exhaling. Inhale to come down, taking a breath in. And exhale. Come down. All right, we are coming on to our side. We're gonna go into our open book series. So my legs are about 90 degrees from my hip joint, and I'm reaching my top bum cheek nice and long to the end of the mat. Tummy is pulled in. I'm gonna give my bum a squeeze and lift the leg up and down. Lift and down. 3. So I'm giving my bum a squeeze, exhaling up for 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. From here, I'm going to engage my glute, take a breath in, exhale, put my footprint on the wall behind me, inhale, bring it back. So I'm trying to keep my pelvis really quiet here, so I'm not kind of pushing my back in and out on this, but just moving the leg. Exhale, pull it through the pelvic floor, squeeze the bum, and up. I can see that my knee is dropping a little bit. I want to try to keep my knee about as high as my ankle. I don't want it to start dropping to the floor. That's part of our challenge here. 2 more, exhale. If you don't feel the pelvic floor engagement on this as deeply, that's okay. Last one, let's add some pulses because that's fun. Up and down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hinge and down. All right, we are going to come up onto the forearm and I will extend my top leg out. Now, I want my elbow right underneath my shoulder, and we're gonna start to strengthen this area underneath the armpit, which is going to help not only strengthen our obliques and the musculature under the shoulder blade, but it's gonna help with any rounding you're feeling from cuddles and feedings. So I'm gonna let you sink down into this position, and then actively pressing through my forearm and my hand, I'm going to push the floor away, lifting up. So I now have this triangle of support. I'm going to relax it all down, and I'm going to exhale, pull it through my pelvic floor, and push that floor away. Inhaling it down, exhaling, pushing away. Inhaling down, and on this next one, we're going to stay. So push that floor away from you. We're gonna go to some more leg work now, and we're lifting and lowering. So if this feels like it's too much for the neck, you can turn your head to look at the floor. If it still feels like it's too much around the shoulder joint, lie yourself back down and just do the leg work. And 3, 2, hold that up there. 8 circles in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Reversing that. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend it in. Okay. From here, I'm going to bring my elbow just a little bit forward of my shoulder. And we're going to do that hip lift movement again, but coming into a side plank. So I'm going to squeeze my bum, and I'm going to use my glutes and my bottom hip to lift and push my hips forward. When I did that, I came right over my elbow. And then I'm gonna hinge at my hips and set my pelvis back. Now my elbow is a little bit ahead of my shoulder. Let's do that again. Exhale, pressing the glutes forward into a little side plank, trying to push the floor away with the arm. Inhale it back. Last two here, exhale. Inhale, coming back. One more time, exhale. And back. Excellent. Let's push ourselves up. Go for a side bend stretch because that arm did a lot of stabilization work. It needs a little stretch. And we do all of this on the other side. So, getting onto the floor, the legs 90 degrees. I'm gonna reach my bum to the opposite end of my mat here, so that way I'm lifted up through the waist, my spine is aligned. I'm gonna squeeze my bum. On my exhale, I lift up, and on my inhale, I release down. Exhale, up and down. So I'm trying to keep my pelvis and spine really quiet here. And this is 4 and 5. Trying to keep my knee in line with my ankle or a little bit above the ankle. And 3 more. 2. Exhale, 1. We're gonna go into our little kick. So engaging my glute, I'm gonna bring my foot to the back wall, and then I'm gonna hinge and come forward. Exhale, inhale forward. Exhale, inhale forward. Exhale, inhale forward. And 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna hold it back there. Here's our pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to keep that knee lifted. 6, 7, and 8. Coming in and lowering down. Pushing ourselves up, reaching one foot out, and this is where we have the elbow right under the shoulder, and we're going to sink. And then we're going to push the floor away, lifting up, and sink. Push the floor away through that forearm, find that triangle of support, and sink. And 2 more, and sink. 1 more time, holding that up there. We're gonna go to leg lifts. Lift it 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got circles here. Circle it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Reversing that for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bending the leg in. Bringing the elbow forward just a little bit. Taking a breath in. On my exhale, pushing the floor away, squeezing the bum, lifting the hips up into this little side plank, and then coming back down. Exhale, pulling up through that pelvic floor, squeezing the bum, and down. And 2 more, exhale, lift. Again, if the neck doesn't like it, look at the floor. And 1 last time here. And down. Pushing yourself up and enjoying a nice stretch. Okay. Let's move on to our hands and knees, a little bit more stability work for the upper body, and continuing to work our legs. So, on my hands and knees, I want to make sure that my shoulder, elbow, wrist are in the same line, as well as my knees and my hips in the same line. You can practice the release of the abdominals and the engagement here, letting the belly go, and then pulling in and up. We looked at that in the first video. and it's worth the review. Exhaling to pull up. Try not to tuck the bum as you pull those abdominals in and up. A good cue is giving the baby a hug in, so really focusing on just those abdominals, pulling those abs in and up, not tucking the bum. One more time here. Exhale. We're going to take a breath in, and we're going to extend one leg out. My hips are going to be facing the floor. I want to think of being really tall through my supporting leg, so I'm not sinking into my hip. And I'm going to lower the foot down, squeeze the bum, lift it up. 1. Exhale, 2. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to hold it up there for 8. Circles here, 1 and 2. Pulling the tummy in 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Reversing that for 8 and 7. Pulling the belly in, breathing easy here. So I still have my core active, but I'm not too crazy fussy about the breath. And I'm going to hold that. Now, I'm going to take that leg and I'm going to cross it to touch the opposite side of my mat, and then I'm going to squeeze my bum and lift my leg back up. Touch the opposite side of my mat, squeeze the bum, lift it up. You can inhale here and exhale to lift. So I'm a little bit more specific on this breath than I was on the circles. Circles are a little bit more fluid. This is a little bit more with controlled movement. 2 more. Last one, and we're going to stay there. Now I'm going to take my opposite hand, reach it out, holding this modified plank, trying not to sink into my hip, thinking of my inner thigh, my supporting leg, like a beautiful Greek column going right up to the ceiling. 2 and 1, coming in. Give yourself a little stretch. We have to do all of that on the other side. So we are engaging our glutes, we're engaging our core, we are starting to build endurance. When you're ready, we are coming up to do the other side. Taking a breath in, tummy is going to exhale, pull in and up, give the baby a hug in, extend that leg out, and we lower and lift, lower and lift. 3. Inhaling down, exhaling up. Trying not to do too much movement with the back, but again, trying to just move the thigh bone so that way we really target the glute and not the back to do this movement. Last one, we're going to stay up there, going into circles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And reversing that for 8. 7. And I'm giving my glute a little extra squeeze at the top of each circle. 2 and 1. So here I'm going to cross my leg to touch the opposite corner of my mat, squeeze my bum and lift. And 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Exhale 5. Exhale 6. And 7, I'm pushing that floor away so I'm not collapsing in my shoulders, holding that, taking a breath in, exhale, reach my opposite arm out, thinking of my supporting leg like a beautiful Greek column, looking at the end of my mat so my head doesn't drop. For 4, 3, 2, I don't know about you, but I can definitely feel this work, and 1, come on in. Go to a child's pose. We have one last movement to look at today, and that is another modified plank. It's a little knee hover, and that's going to help us engage our cores. So, tucking the toes under. Again, trying to have the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips, taking a breath in, and on the exhale here, I'm going to press into my big toes, and lift those those knees, and then I'm going to come back down. And exhale. And back down. And I'm trying not to tuck my bum under when I do this. As I exhale, I want to think of lifting my bum cheeks right up to the sky rather than tucking them down toward the floor. So what does that look like? I don't want you to do this. That's a different exercise. Try to maintain that long spine. On this next one, you can keep doing that, or if you want to challenge yourself just a little bit more, we're going to do little taps of our knees. We're going to take a breath in. On the exhale, we're going to lift. We're going to inhale, tap, exhale up. Inhale, exhale up. Inhale, tap, exhale up for 4, 3, 2, 1, and down, and child's pose. Very nicely done. I don't know about you, but I could definitely start to feel that work. I'm going to start to roll myself up through the spine. Coming to sit comfortably, cross-legged, or I can just let my legs kind of sit like this on my reformer, but cross-legged, or you can have your heels under your bum. We're just going to go for some side bends. Up and over. Let's do that. Again, coming up, up and over. You can think of like a candy cane. You have that long stick and then that little curl at the top. So I'm getting longer through my spine, and then I'm going to find my little candy cane curl at the top. That way I'm really getting a stretch through that rib cage, through those obliques. A little bit of rotation because we really didn't do any today. Arms out in front. I'm going to turn my head to the left, bending my left elbow, rotating my head, my collarbone, my rib cage. My head continues to look at that left elbow, and then I'm going to rotate myself back to center. And again, head and collarbone and rib cage, and back to center. Head, collarbone, rib cage, back to center. One more time, head, collarbone, rib cage, and back to center. And there you have it. There is your class number 2 of your postpartum series. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're starting to get a sense of that pelvic floor engagement, that breath work, and really starting to feel how that deep connection into that work really helps in finding that very deep stabilization that we need to move safely and effectively. And we're going to get way more out of our workouts if we find that work. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in our next class.